Hi, Loki here, and this is your neighbor speaking, with another segment of ThankDemThursday. So let's pause from the task of resistance long enough to celebrate those elected officials who are fighting for the people and who tell it like it is. And when it comes to telling it like it is, there's no one who tells it better than 78-year-old representative from California and former chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, Maxine Waters.
So was your decision to skip the inauguration based on Donald Trump's attack of Congressman Lewis or the result of that briefing?
Well, let me just tell you, after I discovered who Trump is in the way that he conducted himself, I was never going to go to the inauguration. I never planned, I never contemplated even going near any of those activities or those events. I don't like the way he has, misled people, the way he has lied. I don't like the way he has disparaged folks. I don't like the way he mimicked and mocked a disabled man. I don't like the way he talked about women and grabbing their private parts. And so there's nothing about him that I would want to be involved with. And certainly the inauguration is a way of welcoming in someone to the presidency and honoring them and respecting them. I don't honor him, I don't respect him, and I don't want to be involved.
Woo! Tell us how you really feel, Representative. And don't worry, she always does. And it gets better. That was 2 months ago when she was just getting warmed up. Wait till you hear what she had to say about his administration and campaign's ties to Russia. I have to tip my hat to Maxine Waters and ask, can I please call you Grandma? There's a time for politeness and for remembering our manners. It's necessary when politicians who disagree with each other on policy set out to engage in discourse. And then there's a time when it's refreshing to hear someone speak truth to power without mincing words. This is definitely the case when those in power are clutching bags of Russian rubles while spinning toward a cliff in a stolen car spray-painted with the words, "I heart Putin." So, in a moment, we'll look at one of Maxine Waters' more recent smackdowns, and it's truly worthy of a mic drop. But first, I'd like to remember a handful of her achievements. In the 70s, while still a part of the California Assembly, she fought to divest state pensions from South Africa, which at the time was still under apartheid. She's served as a Democrat in the U.S. House of Representatives since 1991. After the Rodney King verdict in 1992, Maxine Waters personally delivered relief supplies. She said in no uncertain terms that the violence was unacceptable, but she contextualized it, saying it wasn't just a bunch of crazy people. It was a spontaneous reaction to a lot of injustice. And she has continued throughout her career to fight injustice. Maxine Waters opposes the mandatory minimum sentences that gained traction during the Reagan and Bush era's failed war on drugs. You know, the laws that have contributed to the unjust incarceration of 1 in 15 African American men. In 2002, she voted against authorization of military force in Iraq, and she wasn't alone. There were 125 other Democrats in the House who didn't buy the weapons of mass distraction story. Thank Dem. Don't you wish we'd had a Democrat majority in the House back then? Don't you wish we did today? Waters has also been calling for a federal jobs program to put Americans to work and stimulate the economy. She is a member of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, and she's said such delightful phrases as, "The Tea Party can go straight to hell, and I intend to help them get there." And now, with the Russian doll unstacking further each day, she isn't afraid to provocatively call Trump and his administration the Kremlin clan. On February 22nd, while commenting on the Russian hacking of our election, she had this to say about those with alleged ties to both Russia and big oil money.
I just think the American people had better understand what's going on. This is a bunch of scumbags. That's what they are.
Those are very strong words,
all
Congressman.
organized around making money.
Who do you mean by that when you call them scumbags? Who are you talking about?
All of these people who are organized with these oil and gas interests that's in the administration and friends of the President of the United States, this back-channeling that you see, these are a bunch of scumbags.
Secretary
That's
of State,
what they are.
you mean the Secretary of State of the United States?
Well, I tell you this, Tillerson is there to get these sanctions lifted. I believe it. Just watch him. He's going to continue to work on it. This is important for him. He was there because he negotiated the deal for Exxon with Putin.
God bless the United States of America.
That's a hard act to follow. So join me in saying thank you, Maxine Waters. And while we're still on ThankDem Thursday, let's also join Maxine Waters in thanking the Obama administration for doing, quote, everything that it can possibly do to make sure that enough people have seen some of the meetings and some of the connections so that they have something to go on when the investigations are really underway. And of course, some right-wing bloggers are already clutching at straws with this statement, trying to aha a conclusion about what exactly they possibly could have done in the Obama administration. But that's only because those bloggers haven't been following the story. It's not a secret, and it's not about wiretaps. It's the reason we're finally seeing the dots connect with Mike Flynn, Jeff Sessions, and others. What the Obama administration did was preserve intelligence that was available, some of it, even before the election. Intelligence that showed evidence of Russian meddling. And just because they may be hearing about it for the first time, doesn't mean it's new. When Mitch McConnell learned of this intelligence before the election last fall, he blocked the information from being shared with states. So instead of protecting our voter registration, instead of protecting our balloting machines, Mitch McConnell and his Republican cronies left our democracy vulnerable to Russian attack. It wasn't until after the election in mid-December that he finally agreed to go forward with a call for investigation. It was such a big deal that before casting their final votes in January, 10 members of the Electoral College demanded access to these reports. But the reports weren't ready or conclusive yet. Well, as of now, the CIA has concluded that yes, Russia was involved in a cyber attack of our election. Yes, Russia was involved in hacking Democratic email accounts during the election. And yes, the CIA has concluded that efforts were made to help Trump and to undermine Hillary Clinton by the Russians. This is not a question anymore. This was a cyber attack from a foreign nation, neighbors. This is why Pelosi and Warren are calling for a special prosecutor. And this is why those who have been caught lying in a suspected cover-up from the Trump campaign and administration have earned the title of scumbags from Maxine Waters. So when Waters says the Obama administration did everything that it can possibly do before leaving office, what she's talking about is what they did to declassify, share, and preserve these reports. It's a well-known story. They did it in January before leaving to ensure that these reports could not be shuffled aside, buried, or shredded by the incoming administration. That is what Maxine Waters is praising the Obama administration for, and I join her in that praise. Once again, thank you, Maxine Waters, Democratic U.S. House Representative from California. And thank you, Obama administration, for preserving intelligence reports to help America uncover the truth. Well, neighbor, that's it for this episode. If you've got a Democrat to thank, post the story, a video, or a link, and use the hashtag ThankDemThursday. Let these highlights serve as a reminder to folks on the left not to be swallowed by that lie of apathy, that the two parties are basically the same and government is all corrupt, so why bother? We've got good people on our side, and when we elect more like them, we can get the job done of having government work for us. I'm Aaron Loki Johnson, and this is your neighbor speaking. Like, share, and follow on Facebook. Like and subscribe on YouTube. See you next time.